My version of success isn't winning. If I feel I'm putting my best work out there and helping others in my organization, if I feel and see my family thriving and healthy, and if I feel that good balance in my life between my career and my family, then that to me is success. So when things get tough, I often think of a saying I mention at the office quite frequently, which is, we're marketers, not surgeons. If we make a mistake, nobody is dying on the table. And really what that is reminding me of is to pause, take a step back, and give myself a little bit of perspective. Because at this time in my life, I've experienced real loss. I have witnessed major life tragedies. And while I don't like to dwell on those moments, thinking of those does provide me with the perspective to realize that while that problem or issue may seem huge in the moment, if I really think about it, it's probably not deserving of that much energy and focus. I could not live without sarcasm. I feel that a good sense of humor is really helpful in life. It can be a de-stressor. It can diffuse ugly situations. There's not a day in my life that goes according to plan. I've been inspired by the ladies that I have gotten to know. I have met a lot of women that are making it happen at work, that are holding together wonderful families, and that are finding the time and energy and drive to help within organizations that matter the most to them.
Well, one of the rules I like to live by is never ask a team member to do something that you would not do yourself. I don't care if it's cleaning the toilets, sweeping the front of the store, cleaning up in the parking lot. If they see that it's important to you, it's going to be important to them. And there's another rule that I like, and that is sometimes you got to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. And if somebody asks you to do something, instead of just immediately saying, no, we don't do that, instead think, okay, how could we do this? What can we do to make this happen? Well, I believe in God, and that's a big thing for me. Because you know what? In my weakness, His strength is made perfect. And Elizabeth Elliot is the woman that I admire, who actually lost her husband, who was a missionary. And Elizabeth said that when that happened to her, the only thing she could do was the next thing. So maybe you have things that are overwhelming, but you can always figure out what is the next thing to do and do that. Don't get overwhelmed, just do the next thing. If I could be an animated character, I would be Snoopy. And why, you ask me? Well, you know what? Snoopy has a great heart. Everybody loves Snoopy. And you know what? Snoopy gets along with people. Come on, his best friend is a yellow bird that flies upside down. And Snoopy accomplishes more than I could ever imagine, and he gets to go on great adventures. Now, the truth of the matter is, I'm probably more like Lucy, the bossy older sister, but I'm trying to be more like Snoopy. I would like to thank my mom because she really did instill a good work ethic in me. I would also like to thank my husband, Michael, who is just nothing but a great support. And I work in the front and he works in the back at the store, and that works out fine. And his mother, who is no longer with us, but she started this business 73 years ago with 4 young children.
I would tell my 20-year-old self not to worry about what anybody else thinks, because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to live in your own head for your entire life. So trying to spend time impressing other people does nothing for your psyche. I watched a movie when I was in about 5th grade. It's called The Power of One, and it takes place in South Africa during the apartheid, which is World War II. And one of the strongest statements that has stuck with me my entire life is that a waterfall starts with only 1 drop of water, and look what comes from that. And so when I think about the impact that a human can have on life in general, it doesn't take a lot to start a movement. And if we want to build better communities, it just takes just a little bit. If everybody just did a little bit, we'd have a lot of waterfalls. I could not live without my family. I am so incredibly blessed with people that have supported me no matter what, and I am nothing without their support. I think the person that's had the most impact on my life was my late Aunt Erin. She was an incredible human being. She worked for Apple on the warehouse floor in the 80s, and she worked her way up to project engineer. So she did everything from Apple, from sweeping the floors to designing some of the first laptop computers. And what she taught me is that you make your own fate. And even when she left Apple, she continued to work really hard to help people. She worked with animals, she worked with people with cancer, and even after she was diagnosed with cancer, she continued to give manicures and pedicures and massages and facials to women that were in hospice, just to make them feel good about themselves. And there is no stronger human than those that can give so much to help others. So, you know, when someone is that incredible, they inspire you to do great things, and I'm so grateful for her.
To me, success is all about touching lives. It's people and trying to make a difference in people's lives. It's about making the world a better place than you found it. So, and how do I measure up to it? That's a challenge. I'd like to think that I'm making a difference, but you know, life's a journey, and so there's still a lot of steps to take on that journey. When things get tough, I rely on my friends, my family, and my faith. Those will get you through absolutely anything. And I think tough times really just help you grow and learn who you are. There's always a bright side, no matter how tough things seem. There's always a way to look for the bright side on that and grow through it. On a deserted island, I would have my husband, a deck of cards, and a library where I could find anything. I would like to take the time and this time and opportunity to thank my parents. Although they're both gone, they really raised me right, gave me the right background, the right morals, got me off in the right direction. I'd like to thank my husband, Ron. We've been married for over 30 years now, and he has just been my rock through everything and has always been supportive of everything I've chosen to do. I would love to take this time to thank all of the administration at Medina County District Library. They have been so supportive, especially Teresa Laffey, who recently retired. She has always encouraged me to pursue whatever crazy idea I've come up with and has given me free rein to do that. And lastly, my staff. I could not do the things that I do in my job if I didn't have a staff that was completely passionate about what they do. They love their jobs and they make my job easy.
When I think of what or who inspires me, I think of 3 things. I first think of new ideas. I love new ideas and looking at things in new ways and seeing and hearing other people thinking of new ways to approach problems. My clients inspire me daily. I also am very inspired by my friends. I happen to be surrounded by a really wonderful community of women. I would recommend emerging leaders to take time to learn their uniqueness. I also recommend emerging leaders decide or look into what kind of leader he or she wants to be. And there are so many different kinds of leadership routes you can take and different kinds of methodologies and the types of leader that you can be. And lastly, I really encourage leaders to surround themselves with strong women who really model what they want to be, people that they can admire, people that are accessible, that they can look up to, and sometimes they're not accessible. I believe in celebrities too, but if there's someone that you really admire, make a point to get to understand what kind of leader that person is and think about that in terms of your own leadership journey. I've thought about being stranded on a desert island. I would like to find, and this is ideal, right? And this is a dream, so I can have it be whatever I want. I would find a way to have a really great solar-powered tablet or e-reader that had hundreds of books loaded on it. So I would have an endless supply of reading material. And then I would take my family because they make me laugh and they keep things lighthearted. And lastly, I would bring tea tree oil because that stuff will cure anything. So I really believe that those are the only 3 things that I would need.
Who inspires me? I would have to say my father inspires me. And the reason why he inspires me, he's from Alabama, from the South, and he has that Southern hospitality. Never heard him say anything bad about anyone. Always open up our home to all the children that was in our neighborhood. So I would have to say it would be my father that inspires me. When things get tough, how do I keep myself going? I kind of look at things around me and notice that, you know, my life is not as worse as someone else. Someone else has it worse than, you know, I do. And faith. You know, I work on my faith, and I always believe that when things get tough, God has a better plan for me. So I kind of, you know, hang around with that. Spider-Man. I would be Spider-Man because, you know, he saves the world. You know, he saves his community, he saves the people. And I like his quote. With much power comes much responsibility. And I see myself with that, you know, within the community, people coming to me and you say, well, you're able to do this and you're able to do that. So when people depend on you, then you feel like you have that responsibility that you have to do something more and go beyond for the community and for the people that you're trying to reach out to. Well, of course, it'll always be God first. Tom Ebner would definitely be one that had a big impact on my life. Dr. Ebner and Carol Andreck. And my 2 children. You know, we hit some hard times, you know, in life. And I started this program being homeless. And I've been doing this program for 18 years. And there's not one time my children has ever said anything about it. You know, they were always supportive about what I would do. You know, always supportive about all the children that would hang out at our, you know, come to our house and everything. So they were in there with me, you know, together. We did it as a family. So I would definitely say that's one of the reasons why I would say my children. They're great kids.
I measure success on what kind of impact I have on the people that surround me. If I can help them to be better people, more successful, whatever that is to them, then I'm successful. So it really, for me, success isn't about money, it's not about things, it's about positive impact on other people. in order to be successful is to know their craft, educate themselves. Secondly, they have to believe in themselves. And thirdly, and I tell all the ladies this that I mentor, don't think you have to do it like a man. Do it like a woman. Do it like you would do it. I need a challenge. Without challenge, I just don't know what I would do. I think I would get bored very easily. My life has been full of challenges. I lost my husband at an early age. I raised 3 children without him. All 3 of my sons have become successful in their own right. And that was probably my largest challenge, trying to run business and raise 3 kids on my own. I can't be a spectator in life. I have to be a participant. Well, if I could thank the people who've had an impact on my life, my parents, who started Willowwood Nursing Home back in 1965, my husband, who helped us develop transitional living centers, and he always encouraged me to be in the front and he stayed in the background. And my sister, who is still with us, my sister's name is Cindy, and she's probably the strongest person I know, and she has continuously encouraged me to keep moving, and again, stays in the background, and of course my 3 children. When I thought I couldn't go on, and you look across the room and you see 3 little boys, you know that you have to. And they're probably my biggest fan club.
I'm inspired by problems and challenges. It may sound sort of strange, but I like looking at that bigger picture of what it is that people want to have as the ideal, what circumstance that they want, whether it be a program or a project or kind of a state of something. I love looking at how things can be improved and changed, whether that be with a new piece of legislation or a reorganization of how personnel are assigned or a change and shift in purpose or how we're meeting the needs of the public. I love looking at problems, and problems inspire me. I live by the words, create your own joy. I think a lot of times people think if they have the right job or they get the right client or they fit in that right size dress or they find the right partner in life, that all of a sudden they're going to have happiness and they're going to find joy. But in all reality, you have to build that for yourself, and you have to find that in you and in the circumstance that you're in and make that change if you need to make a change, or be appreciative for what it is you have in your life. But really building your own joy, that's what you need to do. I couldn't live without paper and pencil. I'm an old-fashioned kind of gal. I like to write notes, I like to receive notes. I have a paper calendar. I do an electronic calendar for staff, but I like to put down what I'm working on, my major projects, things that I'm doing. I organize myself on paper and pen, so I really couldn't live without that. In my career, when I became a health commissioner, there were very few female health commissioners, and there were 5 in the state of Ohio, and each of them reached out to me and encouraged me, and I don't think I'd be where I am today without those 5 women.